Into the first week of the transfer window, there's a sense of impatience in the Arsenal fan base. So today we'll get the latest on Gabriel Jesus, discuss Arsenal's interest and chances of signing Raphinha, find out how close Arsenal are on signing Youri Tielemans, and talk a potential return for Torreira. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Bowers14 and thank you. A gargantuan thank you. We have hit 90,000 subscribers. Listen, I'm just so grateful for you guys. Always supportive, showing your boy love, so consistent. But nonetheless, my friends, the road has begun. Less than 10,000 away from the big 100,000 subscribers. It is mental. So smash a like if you enjoy the content, subscribe if you are new, and comment below if you guys want to see a giveaway of the brand new Arsenal home kits. But into the Arsenal transfer news we go, and we're going to start off with Gabriel Jesus. This is a transfer saga that has longed out over quite a few months now, and every single Arsenal fan is kind of getting bored of the same old interest is there. Arsenal are confident the deal was close, but according to Calcio Mercato in Italy, they claim that Jesus' agent is flying to London for a meeting with Arsenal likely to close. Arsenal have progressed the deal to the point where personal terms don't seem to be an issue, but we still need to be very careful. And I say that because there is so much other interest from the likes of Juventus in Italy. You had Real Madrid, but they can't sign him. But most importantly, Chelsea in the Premier League, who look set to let go of Lukaku back to Inter Milan. And once that player leaves, Chelsea will want to send him forward, and they have their eyes also set on Gabriel Jesus. But according to the reliable Ben Jacobs, saying that if you talk to Arsenal sources, they still consider themselves as front runners. They believe that they are going to get Jesus and Tielemans as a double, and relatively early in the window. This is a transfer saga that is going to conclude very quickly. Edu Gaspar has been in deep negotiations for a very long time and seems to have convinced the player that the Arsenal project is the project for him. But Chelsea, with brand new owners, are looking to spend a lot of money, so they have the finances, they have the Champions League, have a great manager in Thomas Tuchel, and are also in London as well. With the international break now coming to a close, about time, Arsenal now have to get the deal done ASAP, get it signed, sealed and delivered, give us the here we go, give us the confirmations, and give Jesus enough time to join up with the Arsenal squad during pre-season. But keeping it on the Brazilian attackers, what about Raphinha? Well, according to the reliable Athletic, they claim that Arsenal and Tottenham both hold genuine interest in Leeds' Raphinha. Alongside Fabrizio Romano, you also now have the Athletic jumping on the Raphinha train, confirming that Arsenal are looking into this player. But according to Tony Juan Marti, a source in Spain, despite Raphinha being linked to both Chelsea and Tottenham, we understand that it is Arsenal that have been moving with more intensity in recent days. But there is still a long way to go. From interest FC to more intensity FC, look, what I think Arsenal see here is an opportunity where the player was set to go to Barca, they can't afford him, and Mikel Arteta has made it very clear that he wants to see Arsenal strengthen in terms of the squad, where players aren't relied upon too much, and the main player of course being Bukayo Saka. The guy played 54 games last season without European football. Next year with the World Cup and the Europa League, we have to have other options, we have to have a proper squad, and therefore signing a profile like Raphinha makes a lot of sense. And on the transfer fee, according to Ben Jacobs, it will be well in excess of £50 million, with there being add-ons and so on. Unlike Tielemans and Jesus, the Raphinha saga will drag on throughout the duration of the window. Signing Jesus for 45-50, Tielemans for 25, with a likely departure over Nicola Pepe, I think they're gonna have the finances. And the player himself has actually kind of admitted that he was a low-key Arsenal fan growing up, saying that he grew up on goals from Thierry Henry. I made a mistake in my last video where I called Raphinha a right-footed winger, which he isn't. He's a left-footed winger, and he's a very similar profile to Bukayo Saka. Now, Arsenal don't have to replace or upgrade on Saka, but the point being, if we want to compete long-term with Man City, with Liverpool, Man City had the likes of Raheem Sterling, they had the likes of Riyad Mahrez, yet they still spent £100 million on Jack Grealish. That is the level of competition that Arsenal are gonna have if the long-term goal is to compete for Premier League titles. But keeping it on the forwards, what about Gianluca Scamacca? Well, according to reports in Italy, Scamacca to PSG is progressing, with the asking price being at €50 million. It seems like the Gunners have almost slowed down the interest there, and I'm not really surprised. According to the Athletic, Arsenal's priority is Gabriel Jesus, and that's the profile they're targeting. Scamacca is a bigger striker, more old school, more of a target man, and it seems seems like Mikel Arteta wants a false 9 type of profile that can score goals but also get a lot more assists. But keeping it in the Serie A, what about Victor Osimhen? Well, speaking on his future, he says, "I know there are rumours about Spain and England, but it's not the right moment to talk about it because I'm with the national team. I don't know what the future has in store for me. I know that anything can happen." Osimhen was given an opportunity here to rule out any transfers and put to bed these rumours, but instead he's added fuel to the fire. I'm not really surprised to hear that because I think Osimhen does want to move to the Premier League, and Arsenal are a team that have genuine interest. With Demarcio claiming that Arsenal have made an official offer, but with the price tag being close to 100 million euros and him being of a different profile to a Gabriel Jesus, I just don't think that Arsenal will pay that. But if it is that false 9 type of profile that Arsenal want to sign and they do have a spare £100 million, will they make a move for Christopher Nkunku of RB Leipzig? Well, according to the Independent, Nkunku is valued at £100 million, and that Arsenal and PSG are willing to meet that price tag. The 24-year-old Frenchman got 54 goals and assists from 50 appearances in all competitions this season. 54 goals and assists, that is mouth-watering in terms of the stats, but the price tag is also very hefty, £100 million. The Independent claim that Arsenal can pay it, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think to attract a player the quality, the calibre of Nkunku, we would have had to be in the Champions League. But I know a lot of Arsenal fans love to play career mode, so if you were given the opportunity and you had £100 million to spend playing the hypothetics, should Arsenal shatter their transfer record and sign Nkunku for £100 million? Moving on, let's talk the future of Lucas Torreira, an Arsenal midfielder on loan at Fiorentina and thriving in Florence, winning Player of the Month after Player of the Month and looking set to activate his buy option. But we do have a massive development. As Fabrizio Romano confirms official, Fiorentina won't trigger the buy option for Lucas Torreira from Arsenal. No agreement of €15 million fee to be paid within today. Torreira says that "I'm sad. I did my best to stay here, but someone didn't want it." He is now set to return to Arsenal and is out of contract next summer. And deja vu, once again, Italian clubs just not wanting to spend any money. In my opinion, to be getting the quality of player for just €15 million was a bargain in the first place. Fiorentina only offered €7 million, half of the price tag, despite the player excelling in Serie A. That makes no sense, and the player is in the back of the Emirates Stadium. But that being said, having thrived in the Serie A and playing as a number 6, I know that a lot of Arsenal fans right now are very disappointed in not signing Yves Bissouma, who is going down the road to those guys there not to be named. But getting a backup to Thomas Partey, while it is somewhat important, it's not the Arsenal priority. The real priority for Arsenal is about improving the starting lineup. But for me, as a purely squad option, if it was down to myself, I would not be against Arsenal keeping Torreira and having him involved in the first team going into next season. But keeping it on the midfielders, let's talk Youri Tielemans. Ben Jacobs says that Arsenal always felt they were front runners for Youri Tielemans. Personal terms are not a problem. It is now only about working out a fee with Leicester City. Now the international break is done, expect it to be wrapped up pretty soon. The international break has come to an end, and Tielemans in his last game dropped an absolute masterclass against Poland. But now with that being over, there is no longer any excuses for Arsenal not to get a transfer done over the line and have the player involved in Arsenal's pre-season tour of the USA. Edu Gaspar has been speaking with the reps of Youri Tielemans for a very long time, so the deal is very advanced. It is just a matter of Arsenal agreeing a fee with Leicester City and finally putting this transfer saga to bed. According to reports in Portugal, Arsenal and Manchester United are in a heated duel to sign Raphinha from Porto. Both clubs are willing to pay the player's release clause set at €40 million. Now, who exactly is Raphinha? Well, 22 years of age, a Portuguese international. He is a player that was on loan at Wolverhampton Wanderers in the 2020-21 season, but it never quite worked out for the player in the Premier League. He since returned to Portugal and he has thrived there. A very good passer, good dribbler, fantastic in key passes, and very much is that left-sided number 8 type of profile that Arsenal seem to be targeting. But to be quite honest, I have not watched too much of the player, so I can't comment on how good he is if he'd improve Arsenal straight away. But all I do know is Arsenal's priority is Youri Tielemans, and if we sign him, I just don't think Arsenal will spend €40 million to sign Raphinha. Bologna's sporting director admits that reported Arsenal target Aaron Hickey could leave this summer. He is one of those that we could sacrifice, but if we don't receive adequate offers, he will likely stay for another year. The message is very clear to Arsenal: pay Pay us the money, take the player, but if you're not going to pay us the money, forget about any transfer. The price tag is around 20 million euros. Arsenal can afford it, but for myself, I'm actually more of the preferred option of signing a more experienced player, a more adaptable player like a Alexander Zinchenko. With the players both being of a similar price tag, I think Zinchenko for me just makes a little bit more sense. This Arsenal team, to progress into the Champions League next season, it needs to have players that are ready for the first team, that understand the Premier League environment. So if it was down to your boy, I am leaning towards the transfer of Zinchenko, but that's just my own opinion. Moving on to the other Arsenal news today, and starting off with a Arsenal Hale End star boy that will be on loan next season. As according to reports in the UK, Birmingham City have agreed a deal to sign Taylor-Hart on a season-long loan from Arsenal. Arsenal being linked with signing wingers, having Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe already at the club, and you've also got Omari Hutchinson. Despite us being in the Europa League, I think a loan for Taylor-Hart makes a lot of sense. According to reports, the first team squad will return to London Colney for pre-season training on Monday the 27th of June, other than those on international duty. Pre-season is less than 2 weeks away from starting, and so many Arsenal players have still been on international duties. The likes of Bukayo Saka, Aaron Ramsdale, William Saliba, they won't have that much time to rest. It's going to be vitally important that Arsenal have the right plan to manage the players and just slowly usher them in during pre-season. And finally, tomorrow is going to be the day where the fixtures for the Premier League 2022-23 season will be released. Next season is soon to become this season. It's not too far away, and we're going to soon find out what games that Arsenal have, and those first 3 games are going to be very important. Now, there are some whispers, some rumours that are floating about that claim that Arsenal are going to open the Premier League campaign once again on a Friday night, and the game might be Crystal Palace away at Selhurst Park. Nightmares of last season straight away come to mind, but hopefully that isn't the case. Regardless of that, Arsenal's priority isn't next season, it's about now getting transfers over the line and having this Arsenal first 11 ready. So when the season starts, no matter how hard the games might be, the Arsenal are prepared with the quality to fight back and make a very good start. Anyways guys, that's the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to go down there to smash a like and subscribe if you are new. Follow your boy on all of his social medias if you would like to. The links will be down below in the description. But that was today's episode of the Transfers FC, and thank you so much for 90k. It's got Ganchuin onto 100k, and for Arsenal, some signings in between would also be very nice. Much appreciated, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, in a bit.